You recording?
I'm recording.
Okay, from top to bottom, you want to first make sure you're selected on oscilloscope display.
Yep.
Click normal right here. So the three selections are auto, normal, and single. We want normal to start with. Over on this is your time scale. So we want 200 milliseconds per division. You can click the pluses or minuses to get there. So we want, I went too far. 200 microseconds per division. Hold off should be on off. Trigger, we want selected to DSO. We want to use a rising edge trigger. And we want to set the trigger value to 1.5 volts. And you can see that this horizontal red line with the T there, which means trigger, goes up and down accordingly. Over on the vertical scale, you can leave that at 500 millivolts per division. So each one of these grid lines is 500 millivolts. We're using the 1x probe and DC. Now back up to the top, trigger 0, and you want to click go. So right now it's recording, it's waiting to get triggered. So I'm going to go over and connect my battery. And when I flip the switch, you're going to see it over there. So go back over the oscilloscope. So I'm going to flip the switch in 3, 2, 1, switch. And you can see that as soon as it exceeded 1.5 volts, it snapped shut. So I can't see the whole waveform right now because I have my horizontal scale not adjusted for all the extra capacitors that we added. So let's go start over. I'm going to go back to auto. Let's go to 500 millivolts per division. I still have the battery connected to the capacitors, so I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to allow it to bleed down. I'm also going to turn on my discharge switch to get there quicker. And turn my discharge switch back to off. Now I'm going to go back to normal on the trigger mode. And right now it's waiting to see more than 1.5 volts, which I'm going to flip the switch to charge the capacitors in 3, 2, 1, switch. So now I've captured my waveform. I didn't turn the charge switch off yet, it's still on. So to measure the charge curve, I have these vertical lines which I can drag left and right, and I can also move them left and right with these arrows down here. So I want to move this guy, the line marked as A, to the beginning of the charge curve. And the way I read that is I go over here and it says minus 480 microseconds. So that's 480 microseconds from where this line A is to the 0 point in the plot, which the software lines up with the trigger point of 1.5. So right now 1.5 volts is crossing the 0 point. I could also move the B over to the 0 point and look at the difference between A and B. And that is displayed down here where it says A-B and minus 480 microseconds. So, is that good? No.